Honorable Secretary Sharon Garin, Undersecretary Alessandro Sales, and their team from the Department of Energy, Dr. Rizalina De Leon, Project Director for GPDP 3, Dr. Josefina Almeda from UPSC-RFI and Member of Trustees, Dr. Joseph Ryan Lansangan, former Executive Director of UPSC-RFI, the technical experts from GERA, distinguished representatives from the Maritime Industry Authority, the Department of Labor and Employment, and the local government unit of Batangas, colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of the Economic Research Institute for ASEAN and East Asia, it is my pleasure to honor to deliver the closing remarks for today's GPDP 3 closing and turnover ceremony. First of all, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to the Department of Energy, the UPSC-RFI, our GERA technical experts, industry stakeholders, development partners, and everyone who contributed to the successful implementation of the Gas Policy Development Project Phase 3 or GPDP 3. Today's ceremony is not only the conclusion of a project cycle. More importantly, it represents the continuation of a shared commitment to strengthening the Philippines' energy security, regulatory readiness, and long-term energy transition pathway. Over the past years, GPDP has evolved into a highly meaningful collaboration between ERIA, the Philippine Department of Energy, and UPC-RFI. Through this partnership, we have worked together to support the development of a more robust and transparent downstream natural gas framework in the Philippines. As highlighted in the project's objectives, GPDP-3 focused on regulation creation, research, capacity building, and policy advisory support for the implementation of the amended Philippine Downstream National Gas Regulation. ERIA is proud to support this initiative because energy security and orderly energy transition remain among the most pressing priorities for ASEAN and East Asia. Across the region, countries are navigating a complex landscape, balancing energy affordability, energy access, sustainability goals, and economic competitiveness all at the same time. In this context, natural gas continues to play an important role for many ASEAN economies, particularly in supporting grid reliability, industrial growth, and transition pathways towards lower carbon energy systems. However, developing a natural gas sector requires more than infrastructure investment alone. It also requires sound governance, effective regulation, institutional capacity, and evidence-based policy making. This is exactly where GPDP has made valuable contributions. The outputs produced under this project, including regulatory recommendations, technical studies, analytical reports, and stakeholder engagement activities, will provide important foundations for the Philippines as it continues to develop its downstream natural gas sector. At ERIA, we strongly believe that strong policy institutions are critical for achieving sustainable and resilient energy systems. Therefore, beyond funding support, our intention has always been to foster long-term regional cooperation, knowledge sharing, and capacity development. What makes GPDP particularly meaningful is that it demonstrates the value of collaboration between policymakers, researchers, academia, and industry stakeholders. The project has successfully combined international perspective with local expertise and practical realities in the Philippines. I would especially like to commend UPSCRFI team for their dedication, professionalism, and hard work throughout the implementation of GPDP 3. Your efforts have ensured that the project outputs remain technically rigorous, policy relevant, and impactful. I would also like to recognize the strong support from the Department of Energy. Your openness to collaboration and commitment to institutional strengthening have been essential to the success of this initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, while today marks the completion of GPDP 3, the work ahead continues. The global energy landscape is changing rapidly, such as LNG market volatility, energy affordability, infrastructure financing, decarbonization pressures, and regional energy security are becoming increasingly interconnected. ASEAN countries, including the Philippines, will continue to face both opportunities and challenges to ensuring secure, affordable, and sustainable energy systems. In facing these challenges, regional cooperation will remain extremely important. As a policy research institute, ERIA remains committed to supporting ASEAN member states through policy research, capacity building, and multi-stakeholder dialogue. We hope that the knowledge, networks, and momentum built through GPDP will continue to contribute to future policy development and regional cooperation initiatives. We also hope that this project serves as a model of how international organizations, government institutions, and academic partners can work together effectively to deliver practical and policy-oriented outcomes. Congratulations once again to the successful completion of GPDP 3. Thank you very much. I wish everyone a productive and enjoyable networking session. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon.